President Trump takes his case for a border wall to the people, directly to the people from the Oval Office on a national address broadcasted on broadcast television. And the Democrats melt down. This is Ruben J., and you're listening to the Ruben J. Report. So it's important to note that the border wall, whether you believe in it or not, is actually a very important piece of border security. I've been saying since day one that there is no such thing as border security without a border wall. I actually went so far as to earlier in an argument with somebody on Facebook said that, funding border security without building a border wall is like joining a gym and still eating McDonald's and going to the gym one day a week to walk on the treadmill. It's ineffective, it's not smart, and it's no good. The Democrats are losing their mind over President Trump presenting real facts to them about why the border wall is important. And we're going to jump into all of that here in a second. But this podcast, of course, Ruben J. Report, is a test podcast, and we appreciate any support that you bring our way. This podcast, of course, is brought to you by my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. So do me a favor, go and like my Facebook page, facebook.com/TheRubenJ. Follow me on Twitter @TheRubenJ. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheRubenJ. This podcast is developing into something bigger and better, and we appreciate you for being a part of the test. Now, let's go ahead. Let's jump into President Trump's speech here real quick. Now, this is the first time that President Trump has addressed the nation in a national address like this. He did a speech, I believe he did a speech when he was first elected, and then he obviously did the State of the Union address. He's done tons and tons of press conferences, but he hasn't done a national address like this ever in his 2 years of being president. So it's very important for him to use this tool effectively and when it's really important, like this is. A lot of people on the left are saying, oh, President Trump, he's declaring a national emergency for something that's not really a national emergency. But, this really is a national emergency. This is a big deal. Border security and border safety is a big deal. And if you don't think it's a big deal, then I don't know what to tell you. It's literally life and death for a lot of people. I'm going to jump into some of the numbers here in a little bit in a second. But, first and foremost, I want to address something that Sarah Huckabee Sanders said over the weekend. And Chris Wallace corrected her on this. But there's a bigger point to what Sarah Huckabee Sanders said. So when she was on with Chris Wallace on Fox News, Sarah Huckabee Sanders said that 4,000 known terrorists were stopped at the border. It later came out that only 6 known terrorists were stopped at the border. And people are missing the point here. And I condemn Sarah Huckabee Sanders for using false stats. It's not smart, it's irresponsible, and it's not effective when it comes down to the core of the message. But the core of the message is still this. Whether it's 4,000 people, 4,000 known terrorists, or 6 known terrorists. And those 6 known terrorists were in the first half of 2018. So 6 terrorists in just as many months. Okay? So that's 1 terrorist a month coming through this country illegally. Okay? I don't care if the number's 4,000 or 6. The fact that 1 terrorist is coming across the border illegally that alone is worth building a border wall. And yes, I understand that building a border wall isn't going to end illegal immigration completely, but it's going to be step number 1 in multiple steps. And I think that's another thing that President Trump needs to focus on as well. And I'll talk about that in a second as well. But back to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It's really important to know that even 1 illegal entry into this country that leads to the death of an American citizen is unacceptable. The mass majority of people who enter this country illegally don't commit any other crime than entering this country illegally. That I understand that, I get that, and those people who are looking for a better life, I feel bad for them. I really do. I really feel bad for them because it's not, it's not fair to them that they were born in a poor country and they haven't been given an opportunity, the opportunity that is available in America. But it's not our responsibility as Americans to allow them to come into this country and do whatever they want. If they want to come into this country, there's a door. There is a doorbell. There is a point of entry that you should go through. It's very simple. President Trump and nobody on the right has ever said that we want to stop people from coming in here legally. We just want to stop people who are coming in here illegally. We want to get control of who's entering our country, which is not something that the left wants to say, oh, it's immoral, it's wrong, it's not cool, but in reality, it's right. It's moral. It's safety for our people. So, President Trump, of course, like I said, he addressed the nation earlier this evening when I'm recording this, and he probably drew some really good ratings. That's going to be one of the things I'm interested in seeing, is to see how well President Trump is actually performing in this rating for this national address. So, President Trump starts out by basically saying, we want people to come here. So let's talk about some of the things that he talked about. America proudly welcomes millions of lawful immigrants to enrich our society and contribute to our nation. But all Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal immigration. It strains public resources, it drives down jobs and wages. Among those hardest hit are African Americans and Hispanics. So this is actually true across the board. I mean, if you think about it, the more kids that are in our public school system, the harder it is for kids to learn. And we have tons of these kids who are coming to our schools who either came here illegally or are the children of parents who came here illegally, and they have a right to be here, which is okay. Although I think birthright citizenship isn't okay, but I mean, I'm not going to fight that right now. But there's a true factor to this. Illegal immigration does drain resources. More people taking resources, less people actually putting into those resources, it causes a strain on resources. There's no lie there. And the hardest hit are African Americans and Hispanics. I mean, if you think about it, the wealthiest of Americans are generally Caucasian, and the ones that are struggling the most are generally Hispanics and African Americans. That's not something that's new. And there's fixes to both of those problems in separate ways, but stopping illegal immigration from happening is a big step forward in slowing that down and making sure that the resources that are available to our citizens are available to them without any restraint, without any bottlenecking or any issues happening due to illegal immigration. Somebody who needs food stamps should be able to get food stamps without having to wait until, or without having to jump through more hoops than somebody who's here illegally using an illegal Social Security number to get food stamps and government assistance. Our children should get the best possible public education, should get the smallest possible classes, but that's not going to happen while we just allow people to come across the border without any checks and balances. If we can't control who's coming in our border, we can't control the nation. We can't keep people safe. If anybody was allowed to walk in your front door and do whatever they wanted without any consequences, or without being able to be, without being able to be kicked out of here, out of your house, that would be a problem. That's your house. If I can walk into your house and do whatever I wanted with very little consequences or a very small chance of actually being caught, it's not safe for your family. It's not safe for the nation. Now, he goes on and says, in the last 2 years, ICE officers made 266,000 arrests of aliens with criminal records, including those convicted of 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, and 4,000 violent killings. That right there alone is a reason to build this wall and stop this. Again, it's not 100% foolproof. It's not. No solution will ever be 100% foolproof outside of killing people at the border, which is not something I'm advocating for. I'm not advocating for that whatsoever. But look at these numbers: 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, 4,000 violent killings. One assault is enough. One sex crime is enough. One murder is enough to build a damn wall. One known terrorist entering this country illegally through the southern border is worth building a wall. One person crossing that border illegally and committing a crime against America is worth building the wall for. This isn't the time to play with American lives. And quite frankly, I am sick and tired of the Democrats thinking it's okay to allow people to enter our border illegally, that allow people to just walk across the border and do whatever they want. How many cases have we heard of a 16-year-old girl being raped and killed by somebody who we later found out had entered this country illegally, been deported, and re-entered this country illegally? It is way too easy for people to get across that border, and we need to make it more difficult. And yes, there are people who are saying, oh, well, people just can go around the wall. I mean, where there are walls, people are going around them anyways. Well, guess what? It's because it's an incomplete wall. We need to build the rest of the wall. Well, they'll just dig a tunnel. Well, guess what? We'll build a wall deep enough down that nobody can actually get down there. Well, Elon Musk says that we can build tunnels as far deep as we want. Well, guess what? People coming to this country illegally don't have the resources to build a tunnel like Elon Musk has to build a tunnel. Now, if Elon Musk wants to build a tunnel between America and Mexico, good luck doing that. But to say that one American life is not worth building the wall, which is what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are saying now, is absolute malarkey. We need better border security, and it starts with the wall. Now, let's talk about some other issues with border security, okay? Now, I think President Trump needs to outline a comprehensive immigration, solution that includes cracking down on people who are flying here legally and then staying illegally, okay? There is a huge amount of, reported cases of people who are here illegally because they got a visa, whether it's a work visa or, a visa to come visit family members, and they stayed past their expiration date, past the visa date. That is an issue. That is also an issue that President Trump needs to address. What about people coming in from the northern border? Well, it's not as big of a problem as it is from down south. And you know what? And closing the southern border and creating a wall will probably drive more people to try to enter illegally through the northern border. And you know what? I think Canada would be willing to help us build a wall. Okay, so now the Democrats are saying that building a wall is immoral. Okay, well, let's go back and let's quote some people who are also Democrats, who are Democratic leaders let's just go to 1995 and let's see what Bill Clinton had to say about border security and immigration. Okay, we are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of law. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws that we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it. Now that's a Bill Clinton that I can get behind. That's a Bill Clinton that I could vote for. Okay? Let's go to 2009. Chuck Schumer today said that the wall is immoral. It's ineffective. In 2009, he says, this progress includes construction of 630 miles of border fence that creates a significant barrier to illegal immigration on our southern land border. Now, this is a Chuck Schumer that I could support. That's a Chuck Schumer that I believe in. Okay. Now let's go to 2013. Let's see what Barack Obama has to say. Okay. Real reform means strong border security, and we can build on the progress my administration has already made, putting more boots on the southern border than at any time in our history, reducing illegal crossing to the lowest levels in 40 years. Now, President Obama in 2013 believed in strong border security. Maybe he didn't believe in a wall, but a wall, a fence, an obstruction of entry to the United States is needed. And anybody who says it's not needed is lying to themselves. I am tired of hearing about stories of people who enter this country illegally and murder people, like the day after Christmas, when we lost a California police officer to somebody who was here illegally in a DUI accident or a gun shooting. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm too heated to think about it straight. Our finest Americans are being killed at the hands of illegal immigration. And it needs to stop. And we need the wall. And we need stronger border security. And we need proper visa enforcement. There's so much more that we need in this world. And a border wall is just the beginning. My name is Ruben J, guys. Thank you for listening to this. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheRubenJ. Like my Facebook page, facebook.com/TheRubenJ. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @TheRubenJ. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.